Hi, everyone. Thank you so
Hi, how
much
are
for
you,
coming.
Mindy?
Hi, hi. Um, Very excited to talk about eyebrows today. With COVID, we've been wearing masks, and what I've noticed is that I'm spending a lot more time with my eyebrows and eyeshadow. So hopefully today I can give you some pointers, and then we can work together. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them up and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of different things. The first thing we're going to talk about is the shape of faces. And we're going to have Shelly's going to put some pictures up and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Shelly, if you could put that first screen up, the shape of the face. So these are fun. You should also, if you want to take pictures of what I'm showing on here with your phone, this way you can work with it later, go back and see these shapes. So for each of the facial shapes, you're really going to look at where the eyebrows are on the face. So just like with the round, we're talking about the round right away. You don't want to put round eyebrows on a round face. So if you determine that your face is fuller and you have that fullness, you want to make a longer brow if you're filling in. So that's very important. Also, we're going to go to the oval shape. It's a little longer. So you can do a little eyebrow that has a little bit more length to it at this part of the face. Also, the pear shape. Now, if you have a pear shape face, now these shapes, you really need to go into the mirror and go full face to determine which shape you have. But as I said, take pictures of these and really go back at another time when you have more time to really look at your face and decide what shape you have. The pear-shaped face is a face where the forehead is smaller and the jawline is thicker. So we need to fill that out a little bit. So the eyebrows need to be a little longer and short, flat in that area. We're going to go to the next shape, and I'll go through these quickly because we can have a lot of information to give. So, but as I said, take a picture of this and then you can read it later. Shelly, if you can go back, good, good. We're going to go up to the square. So these are all the shapes, faces. So the square face, the brows have to be perfectly flat in here sometimes. So we're going to show you how to do that. Oblong face. If you want to create a more flattering brow, add length. Heart-shaped face. This is a very interesting shape face. The eyebrows are very important for the heart-shaped face because this is the widest area. The top of the face is the widest area. So you want to have a full eyebrow in that area. And we're going to go back down to the next one. Oh, I don't think they did the pear. Okay, so there's the final shape. It would be a pear shape. And that's, again, you look at all the different types of shapes. So now let's go down one more. Shelly, if you can go down again. Thank you, all the way down. We're going to look at the actual eye, how to determine where the eyebrow should begin and end. This is really important. We want to take some sort of either a brush or a pencil, something not too sharp, and we're going to work with the A line first. So notice where the A line starts on the side of the nose. And it goes straight up, a little angled. I would say angle it just a little bit up. That's where your eyebrows should begin. The way to tell where the eyebrow should end is if you take that same pencil or brush and you angle it on the end of the eye. That's where they should end your eyebrows. Now, what's really important is if you look straight ahead into a mirror, you'll be able to see the end of the iris, B line. B line is really important because that is where the arch of the eyebrow should be. Now, what we need to do is take from A to B to D. Those are the most important letters. We're always making a shape that is from A, arch it at B, and go to D. Now, I find that a lot of women start arching their eyebrows at the front of the iris. So what you tend to happen is it becomes a roundish area in this between A and B. And it almost looks like a tadpole. I always use the tadpole because it's very, very round. And then it arches right before B. That's what the big mistake is. And the problem with that is that it shortens the eyes. So we want to elongate mostly to get from A to D. Do we have any questions in the area? I'll take that away, Shelley, so I can see the chat. Does anybody have any questions for that? I know it's a lot of information at once. How is everybody doing with their eyebrows? What are mostly the problems you have? I don't think I'm seeing any chats. Okay, we can go on to the next thing if you'd like. So basically, the next thing I want to talk about after shape is tools. Tools are very important when you're working with tweezing your eyebrows. Oh, here's a chat. Let's see if we've got some questions first. Okay, we're going to talk about, so someone asked about very thin eyebrows. We're going to talk about that at the end because there are some products that I'm going to recommend to you to grow your eyebrows. Just as they had products that grew eyelashes, there are some now that grow eyebrows. So we will talk about that. And super bushy. Well, we're going to talk about something right now, the tools that you really need to use for bushy eyebrows. You know, one of the tools, we're going to bring up some tools that I recommend. One of the best tweezers on the market is Shelley, if you can bring that up. And we're also going to, I had some questions about waxing and different things, and we'll go over that after. But these are some of the products that I really recommend. Laura Mercier makes this wonderful tweezer. It's ergonomically correct. It makes, you won't get carpal tunnel or anything with it. It's a great, great tweezer. It's easy to use. It's angled at the tip so that it can get to the hair. That's one of the best products. The other thing I like very much are these scissors. If you're going to be trimming your eyebrows, trimming is, you know, very important. If you brush your eyebrows up, you need a very thin scissor like this to trim them so you don't over trim them. Very, very safe to use. And then the other thing I like is, you know, if Shelley, if you can move that up, you want to work with products like this, a brush. I have it's almost like a little tiny toothbrush, but these are some great products that here you have a tweezer, you have something that combs it and also brushes it out. So you need to get a little grooming set like that. Kohl's has them for $10. It's fantastic. Let's go back to that screen again and let's talk about the one where it shows A, B, and C. Okay, I have a question, A, B, and C, you know, that Shelley, that picture about A, B, and C. There were some questions. Do you suggest waxing over threading? I think that's totally personal. They both hurt. So tweezing is a little easier, I think. It depends on what you're used to. You know, I've seen many people have done threading and it's been beautiful. I've seen great waxing. What I'm going to suggest for waxing that you have to be really important, really know about is that when you're going to have your eyebrows waxed, you really don't want them to do the top of the eyebrow that much, because what happens is you lose a lot of the shape. Now, you know, tweezing and waxing and threading, they're all for really good cleaning processes. You know, it's not necessarily for shaping. I think the most important thing is establish a shape first that works with your facial shape. Then you can go to someone who will wax the area that will clean all around it. But I wouldn't have someone shape it unless they're very, very good. And there are many people who are very, very good doing that. I would have a discussion with them first. I really would work on having a consultation before they do any changing of the eyebrows. Have them explain to you what they're doing and why they're doing that. Someone asked a question about what in between. There should be your eyebrows, there should be a certain amount of space in between your eyebrows, but no more than the length of your eye. There should be about a length space here, not even a full length of your eye in between your eyebrows. It's mostly if you take your pencil, angle it straight up, the A is extremely important. That's where they should start. Now, this particular eyebrow you're seeing comes down on the front. I don't know if anybody can see my cursor moving here. Can you see that? Is everybody seeing that? The little arrow? Can you see that? Okay. Well, anyway, up here above, between A and B, this area is very important. You cannot make this come down like this. You need to have a little bit more of a square. And I'll show you on my eyebrows in a few minutes. Let's see if there are any questions. Do glasses make a difference? I think that, yeah, glasses and tweezing them, or showing the shape of your eyebrows. Glasses are a whole another thing for the shape of your face. I recommend going to see someone and having them do a consultation about what the shape of your eyeglasses are. And yeah, you should be able to see your eyebrows, I think. Eyebrows are a really very important part of the eye, of the whole eye. Let's see if there's any other questions here. It says, what does tweezer actually do? It hurts. Yes, it all hurts. Anything time you're pulling any hair out of your body, in any part of your body, I think it hurts. But it's the price of beauty, ladies. Or cleanliness, or however we feel about it. But I think it does hurt. Okay. Okay, this trimming is very important. It's very important. I'm going to take that off the screen. I'm going to kind of show you on my eyebrows, okay, how to do it. What you want to do is actually, if I can take this off, you actually want to brush your eyebrows up and then hold them up with your finger, and then just trim a bit above. Be very, very careful not to trim too much hair, because that's when the eyebrows will stick straight out. There are also eyebrows that do come straight out. Those are the ones you want to get. Anything that's pointing out, we want to get. Any other questions? Let's see. How do right side trimming while using scissors? The problem is for glasses, anybody who wears glasses now is having a problem with their eyebrows, trimming them. But they do make glasses now where one of the lenses come down. Have you seen them? They're fabulous. And then you put them up and do the other one. I mean, we do whatever we can, really, ladies. Okay, so now we're going to go back into tools a little bit. I want to show you those tools. The brush is very important. Let's see if I can get to my screen. Shelly, can you get me my screen? Well,
what do you want me to show you?
I want them to see my screen here. So basically, I have my tools set up right here. I've got my scissors.
Yes, they see you, Mindy.
Okay, I've got my tweezers, and it's really, really important to have the right tools. Also to be disinfecting your tools properly too. Okay, so after this, I'd like to go to how to determine what color you should use on your eyebrows and what type of product you should use. Now, there are 3 different types of products to use on your eyebrows, and we'll start with an eyebrow pencil, or something that I'm going to show you. I have a pencil here. You can bring that up, Shelly. So it's basically powder, a pencil, powder or pencils. This is a great product because it's a powder. And why I recommend a powder, if you have very, very oily skin, a powder is a better product for you because it will absorb the oil on the skin. If you have very dry skin, then a precision brow pencil will work better. if you're using the powder, you want to make sure it has an angled brush like this, because when we went back to that A, B, and C, there was a basic angle on that. So, and this will help you make that shape on your eyebrow. So the pencil, if you can go up a little bit, the Precision Brow Pencil is very good. And the reason this is very good is because it has on one side of it a little brush. So after you put your eyebrows on, you fill them in, you brush them out a little just to soften the line slightly. Never want to keep too much of a pencil in a harsh line. You want to always soften it so it looks like hair. I think that's the best way. Unless you're doing, you know, theatrical makeup or something like that, that's totally different. So finally, let's see if there are any questions. How do you find a good person for eyebrows? I would interview, call them, ask them questions. If they know a lot about eyebrows, if they know about the shape, if they know where they should begin or end, those are the people to go to. There's lots of very knowledgeable people. Can I send you a pic of my eyebrows? Yes, absolutely. You can always send me a picture of your eyebrows and I can tell you what you should use and what shape they should be in relation to your face. It's a great idea. All right, and so finally, I'd like to talk a little bit about, if we don't have any other questions for that, about the two products that I recommend, and Shelly's going to bring these up, for growing your eyebrows. Now, Latisse makes a fabulous product for eyelashes, and they now make something for your brows. And there are before and after pictures, and it's very good. It's been very successful. Little expensive, a lot expensive, but it's there. But now there's another company called 4Chicks. Now, 4Chicks has an eyebrow enhancing serum also, and this is a little bit more reasonable. This runs $29. So I would try it. You know, if you're already using Latisse, if you're at your plastic surgeon's or your dermatologist and they're selling this, they might have some specials right now. So I would pick that up. If not, this 4Chicks is really good. So that's a really another great product to use. So a couple people would like to go back to the face shapes again. Would you like that? So why don't we bring the face shapes back? There is a question, what product if you don't have much hair on your brows? I would start with the Latisse. And you mean as far as pencil? I would actually, depending on your skin, if it's oily, I would use the powder. If it's dry, if it's oily, I would definitely use the powder. If your skin's a little bit more dry, I would use the pencil. The pencils are really good because they're very, very lightweight. It's not a very thick, heavy pencil. So you could just make little strokes out of your eyebrows. There's a bunch of new little products on the market. If you email me, I can send you a bunch of those. So here are the shapes again. I don't know if anybody wants to take a look at these again. I would take pictures of these. And you really want to look in the mirror, and you can, when you start talking about shapes, and you can really start to see what shape face you have. It's so interesting. I've never, you know, when I first started doing makeup, I really loved showing people what shape face they have, because you never really look at that or think about it. And sometimes, you know, you have a stronger jawline, that's more of a square face. Smaller face, pear shapes sometimes have a very small forehead. So all of the types of shapes will determine what your eyebrows should look like. Any other, they're going to, Nicole, they're going to give you the email address. I can send you my email address. Everybody's asking for that. And again, take pictures of these shaped faces, because you'll really get a lot of knowledge on how to do your eyebrows with this. It's great. So the tool, as I said, tools are very, very important. The right tools. Have you ever just gone to do your eyebrows and you can't do it because you don't have the right tweezers, the right trimmers? If you try to use scissors that are too big, you might cut them too short and then they stick out. You just want to brush them up and trim off the tiniest edge of the eyebrow on the top. Again, let's go to that second shape. Again, Shelley, let's look at that again, the full face. This is so important. You know, we really want to come to the end of the eye on D. That's where they should end. I see a lot of women who have a shorter brow that ends at C. And what happens is it doesn't elongate the face. So it's very, very important to bring the length out of your eye, because what you're doing is you're framing the eye. Again, take a pencil or a brush, and right from the corner of your eye, you can see me. So you want to do this to get that A shape. Then you want to do this to get that D shape. And then again, looking straight ahead in your mirror, the end of the iris is where that eyebrow is going to arch. And you want to have it as a gradual thinning to the arch of your eyebrow, and then thinnest after that. You never want to have between A and B a rounded section of your eyebrow. It wants to be a gradual thinning, and then after B to D, the shape will go down. Any other questions about that? The eyebrow serums, they're going to give you the links for all the eyebrow serums, and you order it right from there. I mean, Kohl's has that little set for eyebrows, the tools. That was from Kohl's. That was $10. It was fabulous. They have some really great products, even as simply as going to CVS. Eyebrow tattooing. They do that. It's great. I mean, I would definitely look at some of those more permanent things like microblading, which is a type of tattooing that has hair strokes and tattooing. Make sure you're going to someone who really knows what they're doing, only because color is really, really hard to do. And you need to see their work and see something that they've done in the past. But I really love all of those types, especially if you don't have as many eyebrows as you'd like. Any other questions? Eyebrow gels. Well, it depends on what kind of gel you're talking about. You know, all those products depend on the type of skin you have. If your skin is oily, a gel is going to come off. You know, the drier the product, the better for oily skin. And, you know, and the problem with sometimes with pencils is they have to have oil in them. So if you have oil on your skin and you're putting something oily on the top of your skin, it's not going to stay. So if you perspire, it'll come off. So you want to use something that will really just, if you're oily, absorb the oil in your skin by using a powder, and that will stay on. Eyebrow pencil. Okay. Yes. Sometimes I have a question. Will you demo using an eyebrow pencil? You know, it seems like the pencil that you're using is probably not that good. If you're not getting any strokes, if you're not, this pencil that I have, the Precision Eye Pencil, it's so simple to use. A lot of the companies make it, I make it, but it's just very simple. And it comes on very easily. And that would be, you know, I can always give you a little tutorial on your own eyebrows if you email me. Any other questions? Let's go over that Latisse again. I'm going to show you those two products so that you can see for some growth. Shelley, if you can bring that one more time up, those last two products, in case anybody wants to look at those.
Okay, 1 second. I closed it out. 1 second.
Okay. The question, if I have normal skin, do I need to use a powder or gel? I wouldn't say gel is the word that I'm using. I would say brow pencil. You could use either, really, you know, whatever you feel more comfortable with. These are the two products for growing your eyebrows. And again, it's a slow process. You know, you have to have patience. If you haven't had eyebrows for a while or your eyebrows are thinning out, just have a bit of patience. It takes a month or so to see a difference. It's going to take a little bit of time. Um, for normal skin, I would say you can use either the powder or the gel. You want to use something that you're comfortable with. When you use a powder, you can use an angle brush like this, and then it might be easier for you to work with. When you use a pencil, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to use the strokes. You have to make sure that the pencil is very thin. You can't use an eyeliner pencil. A lot of girls are trying to use eyeliner pencils. I think you have to use a product that is specifically for eyebrows because it doesn't have as much liquid in it. So I'm hoping that I'm giving you some answers for the questions that you have. And if there are any other questions, please leave them. Um, I would love to answer them. And what we're going to do is we're going to send you my email, and I will email you my information. You can send me a picture of your eyebrows, or we can do a FaceTime together, and I can recommend something specifically for you and specifically for the color, you know, of your hair and in relation to your eyebrows. So the eyebrows should be as close to your hair color as possible. I know we didn't talk about that at all, color. You know, you don't want to go too dark and you don't want to go too light. You want to be soft with your eyebrows, but it is the frame of your eye. So just think about a frame of a beautiful picture that you would want to see. So your eyes are beautiful and you want a beautiful frame around your eyes. Hope everybody enjoyed it.